New England gardening here. This is a dwarf golden delicious apple tree. The tag, I don't see where the tag went to. I did have the tag for the Fuji apple tree. It doesn't mention the height. I think it gets between 12 and 15 feet tall for dwarf varieties. But here's the progress of the apples. You can see the size here. But I started noticing this month these yellow dots. You can see these dots here. This is crab apple tree or apple tree scab. So it's a fungus, and much like the leaf curl for the peach tree, you want to remove in the fall. You want to remove all the dropped leaves off the property, dispose of them. But I think I've passed a period of time that I can spray. There's a window of opportunity, I think, in the spring. But right now it's suggested that you just fertilize the tree to help maintain its health. I don't think this can be fatal to a tree. It just produces these ugly, round, yellowish brown spots on the leaves. And I'm not certain if that's what happens to these deformed apples too, with these dots on there. I thought maybe insects were doing damage. But there are apples without blemishes, and I think there are over 50 apples on this tree, so I need to thin them out. This is sort of like the largest example of what's on this tree. So I think I'm going to remove any of these deformed apples or apples with a lot of blemishes on them, and try to see if I could keep fewer apples about that are around this size right now. The only thing I'm concerned about is fewer apples. The odds, I think, are greater that something will get to the fewer apples that are on here, the nice, pretty apples that I'm going to try to keep on the tree. Did notice also, I was thinking of putting an eye hook down on the raised bed here. I've got this branch that sort of loops up back into the tree, and there are some nice apples on this. I think in the fall I'll just cut this off. I don't know, maybe put some slight pressure on here. I don't know. Probably best just to cut this branch off, since it's almost sticking, pointing straight up. But yeah, there's too many apples on this tree. Probably should have thinned them out earlier. There's a lot of wasted energy into apples that I'm going to be removing. And there's some suckers on the bottom here. Need to be removed too. But yeah, even on my Fuji apple tree over there, all of a sudden all these dots started appearing on the leaves. It's always something. I'll start with this guy. I don't even know if I need to keep that plastic on there. That's usually a great hiding spot for earwigs. Oh jeez. Speaking of which, look at them all scrambling. I don't know if they're gnawing on the bark or not. Let's get these guys off of there. So here's a pretty ugly apple. Take that off. And you get clusters like this. This is a nice looking apple here. Look, I even have some marble sized ones still on the tree. So that's definitely coming off. Kind of small. Let's see. Yeah, these are all pretty, except this one here, so maybe they should all go. There's an ugly one. So I removed over 30 apples, and I think I might even reduce the amount of apples on the tree further. I think I might bring it down to 10. I think there are about 30 left on the tree, but there are some nice unblemished or almost unblemished larger sized apples. I think there's about 10 of them, and I think it's the third year this tree's been in the ground. So I might reduce the amount of apples on the tree even further. There's some at the top there, they're kind of small. A lot of pock marks on them from the scab. So that might be a good idea, just to reduce it further. Yeah, I just follow the same idea with the Fuji apple tree, and I have to get to the Red Haven peaches too. So this is New England Gardening, trying to make heads or tails of thinning the fruit on some of these trees here to get better sized fruit and fruit with less blemishes on them. So this is New England Gardening, thinning out the apples on the Golden Delicious apple tree. Thanks for watching.